more than one love language? What if your spouse knows your love language and they're not speaking it yet? You guys, I told you to ask questions and you did. And I'm here today with the answers. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I got a lot of positive feedback from that series, Love Language and Who Do I Marry? And you did ask the questions and I am here. Let's go and get the answers. Here we go. First question. Someone asked me, can you talk about self-love? What are the pros and the cons? And this person is a young person, so I want to take time to talk about this. Self-love is really important because I always make this example and I say, if you have a show, if your life is like a show and everyone walks out of the show, if you walk out of the show, then you have walked out of yourself. You've walked out on yourself. If someone walks out on you and you walk out on yourself, you are the biggest loser. Okay? So here's the thing. You have to love yourself by accepting yourself. Yes, not by being who anybody thinks you are, but by being the best version of who you know you are. Authenticity is the key to success. And that is where you find true love. True love begins with you loving yourself. That is the pros that I would say. It's like you get that strength, you love to spend time with yourself, you know what is good about you, and you celebrate yourself by yourself. You enjoy your own company. You believe in your vision, you believe in your goals, you believe in your future. Self-love is really important, especially in this world that we live in today. Now, what will be the cons? The cons is just one. Don't take it too far, because there's the difference between self-love and being self-centered. If you're self-centered, everything becomes about you. Me, and you don't care about others. What is life if we don't care about other people? So we don't want to be self-centered. We don't want to be selfish, so that would be the caution. Don't love yourself to the point where you hate other people. Don't love yourself to the point where you don't consider the feelings of other people, the opinion of other people, or where you're not able to work well with others. But love yourself enough to make sure that you give yourself the validation, that you need for yourself. I hope I answered that question, and let's go to the second question. All right, the second question is, what if you aren't aware of what your love language is? This is so possible because self-awareness is not something that some people are kind of tuned to, So self-awareness is actually how you get to find out your love language. That love language does exist. The only difference is you have not found out, or you have not given it the title. You haven't taken the time to get to know yourself. Sometimes it takes you to getting to know yourself for you to know what you hate and what you love. And sometimes it depends on how you were brought up. It depends on the circumstances of your upbringing. Sometimes we don't get a chance to even get to know ourselves because we're brought up in circumstances that just make it in such a way that we live for people, from one phase of our life to another phase of our life, and sometimes even all the way to your adulthood. I've seen people who come in their 50s and in their 60s, and it's in those moments that they're giving themselves attention enough to know. And this is really an important question. You know why? Because if you don't know what you hate, you would not know what to choose. So most of the time you just end up taking whatever is available. And when you just end up with whatever is available, when you come into the knowledge of yourself, you'll be like, what am I doing here? What came over me? What did I just do? Because you did not get to know yourself. And that's why we say being single is to be whole, is to be complete. To be whole and to be complete is to know your taste buds, is to know what triggers you negatively and positively. In that way, you are able to find out the things that make you happy, the things that you respond to, and the things that make you angry and upset. So if it's possible that you don't know your love language right now, it's because you haven't spent enough time with yourself. You haven't given yourself the opportunity to get to admit that you deserve love. You deserve to be cared. You're living for everyone apart from yourself. So I would say spend more time with yourself. Give yourself permission to be vulnerable. Give yourself permission to like and not to like something. Because I know a lot of people don't even give themselves permission to have an opinion, to say, I don't want this, to say no. Everything has been yes, 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 okay, all right. Everything everybody wants you to be, everything everybody wants you to do. That is not the way to live your best life. The way to live your best life is to be in touch with yourself. Know what I like, know what I hate. If you like flowers, if you like to give, if you like to receive, if you like to travel, if you like words of affirmation, if you like quality time, it takes you to look inwards. So give yourself that permission to be vulnerable. And I promise you, when you do, you would find that your love language does exist, and you can embrace it and claim it and demand it and express it. All right. Okay, that's about that. I hope I answered your question. Moving on. Question number 3. Somebody asked, what if you're with someone who wants you to speak all 5 love languages to them? I'm like, well, that is possible, that somebody can speak all 5 languages. Like I told you guys at the beginning, I said, because I've done this for a long time, I know my primary love language, but I'm also able to speak all the other languages depending on people who I'm involved with, my family, my children, and all of that, and friends, and even colleagues and all of that. So you learn, because you learn to prefer people and you want the best out of people, you learn to speak their language to them. So it is possible that someone may speak all 5 languages or demand all 5 languages. But here is the point though. So if you're with someone who is demanding, or who says, I want all the 5 love languages spoken to me, here's my condition. As long as they are speaking all 5 languages to you, it's okay. Yes, don't give in to someone who says, well, all the 5 love languages are what I want, but they are not given at that level. So if someone says, I want all 5 love languages, or all the 5 love languages are what I want, make sure that they're speaking it too. So as far as I'm concerned, if they are giving at the level that they want to receive, it's okay. So if they can speak all 5 love languages to you, make the effort to do the exchange and make them happy. But here's the catch. I want you to ask them, okay, what is your primary love language? No matter the amount of love languages you speak, whether it is 1, whether it's 2 or 5, we still have our primary love language. I don't have a primary love language, but I'm able to speak. It's just like you're from a certain part of the country and you speak a certain dialect, but you can speak other people. I can speak a little French, I can speak a little Spanish, but that's about it. I can't have a whole conversation. I can't take it all the way. But that which is my primary dialect, I can speak fluently. I can read, I can write in it. So even if that person can speak all 5 love languages, there is that primary one. Even if they want all 5 love languages, they're able to receive all 5 love languages, they must have the one that is their primary love language. So you need to know that, so that you can know what their default setting is, what they cannot do without. Like a fish cannot do without water. This is the one that is the main thing for you. But every now and then I'll try to be flexible. But they must also be able to speak the 5 if they're demanding the 5. Tell them, Joy said so. Next question. Someone asked me, is it possible not to have any love language because someone told them that they don't have any love language? I think you should refer to the previous question, because it's not possible. It's not possible for somebody not to have a love language. That person just wants not to deal with it. Yes, I don't want to talk about it, doesn't mean there's nothing to talk about, right? So someone can have an attitude like, okay, do you want to talk? No, I don't want to talk. What they're saying is, I'm not ready to talk right now. It doesn't mean that there's not an issue to talk about. So if someone says they don't have a love language, they're just not ready to deal with it as yet. So the answer is no. It's not possible not to have a love language. Everybody wants to be loved, and nobody is allergic to love. And everybody has a way that they prefer to be loved. So when that person is ready, I am sure 100% that they will tell you how they want to be loved. Okay? So no, it's not possible not to have a love language, because we all thrive from love. We all came from love. Okay, here's the last question, but it's not the least. Someone said, what if they know your love language and they're just not speaking it? So they know it and they're not speaking it. I'm like, this is kind of complicated, because you know, you have to be in the mind of someone to know the reason why they have chosen not to. But I've come up with a few reasons why I think that may be. First of all, I'm going to say the natural reason why someone is not speaking is because they forget. They are yet to be conscious of it, and most likely because it's not the same love language as theirs, because a lot of people speak their natural love language more easily, more frequently than they do what is not natural to them. So sometimes it's like getting a new equipment, or you know, even though they have now attended the class or they have known about it, it's gonna take a little bit more conscious practice, you know, to like, oh, you know, I should do that. You know, I forget. So that's one reason I would tell you, maybe they forget. So don't get tired of reminding them. Subtle reminders, gentle reminders, romantic reminders, you know, and like conversation too. So if it's, don't take that against them, because like, if someone says, oh my God, yes, I have to do better. If they show the sign and the eagerness, you know, to speak that language to you, have patience. It will take a while, but they will get it. A second reason why this can also happen is if the person is selfish. Yes, unfortunately, we have people who can be selfish, lovers who can be selfish. Some partners or spouses don't really care if you're happy, as long as they are happy, and everything they do is in demand of their happiness. So sometimes it's the selfish, self-centered behavior of not caring enough. And I also would say the lack of love. Selfishness is a lack of love, because when you care about someone, you really want them to be happy. So if you are dating and you're not married as yet, you want to watch out for that. You know, if someone cares about you, they will want you to be happy. And if something, a little thing is going to make you happy, they're going to go out of their way, you know, to do it. So it's good for that person to be teachable and to care enough to want you to be happy, you know. So, but if they're selfish, it's going to be me, 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 me. That's what selfish people do. It's like, you didn't do this, so I'm not happy. You didn't do that, so I'm not happy. So sometimes selfishness or the lack of love. If someone doesn't really love you, if someone doesn't really care about you, they're not going to change for you. But when people love you, they'll go out of their way, above and beyond, to make you happy. The third scenario I want to paint, which would be the reason why someone would know your love language and refuse to speak it, is probably like some people who have that conditional love kind of life, or that I call it the people who operate the reward system. Some people be like, oh, if you do this, I'll do this. If you don't do this, I'm not going to do this. So sometimes you got to check. Is it because I haven't done something that they wanted me to do? That's why they're holding back. Because these people believe in punishment. Yeah, these people believe in merit. You have to earn love. We always want unconditional love. You know, unconditional love is better, because when you're giving, you know, just give because it's the right thing to do. But there are certain people in relationships who will be like, why should I love you if you didn't do this? Why should I love you if you haven't done the last thing I told you to do? Why should I love you if you didn't listen to me yesterday? So they operate a reward system. So this is like a conditional love type of thing. So you want to check with them. Is there anything maybe that they've told you to do that you haven't done? Sometimes that could be the reason why they know your love language and they refuse to speak. Yes, questions answered. I hope this has helped, and I will be moving on to another dimension on my next video. It's gonna be a bomb, I promise you. I hope you stay good. I hope you keep being productive. I hope you keep getting the best love in your life. I love you, and I will see you another time. My name is Joy Lifechangers. If you have not subscribed, don't forget to click the button and subscribe. Comment below, like and share the video, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to also visit my website, www.joylifechangers.com. Amazing resources are there. See you on my next video. Bye.